I just want to start by thanking everyone for being here and saying a great big huge thank you to Kevin and the entire Big Ten staff for putting on this amazing event. It's just so awesome to see everybody in person, and I could not be more excited about being back into arenas with fans in the stands this year and seeing people's faces. Big Ten women's basketball is going to be maybe the best it's ever been this year. I really am expecting unprecedented results from the Big Ten Conference this year, from the league as a whole, when you look at what we've done in the past and the number of returning players. So it's really an exciting time to be a part of this conference. We have plenty of reasons to be excited in Nebraska women's basketball right now. Number one, we have 4 returning starters from our team 1 year ago that Kevin mentioned, was able to knock off 5 ranked opponents and play in the postseason. We have 4 other returning players who played substantial and significant minutes in our program. And we're adding in a top 25 recruiting class that consists of 6 players total, 5 freshmen and 1 transfer from the University of Oregon, Jazz Shelley. So a lot of reasons to be excited for the program, but probably the number one reason I'm excited is this team has just really embraced competition with each other, and they have a strong belief. They believe in hard work, and I just absolutely love coaching this team. I'm excited to answer any questions that you have at this time.
Second row.
Hi Coach, Ryan from Greater Than the Game. As an up-and-coming team, you're building, you're moving forward. What are some of the characteristics you look for in both players and staff when building a team?
Yeah, in our program, we just want to be the hardest working team on the court and the most competitive and the grittiest and the toughest. And so I think that's the number one thing we're looking for in the players that we're adding into our program. And I think my coaching staff has been with me for a very long time, and the whole entire time I've been at Nebraska, and they really have a strong understanding of what it is that works for us, and I think they know that the number one factor for us is that grit and toughness and hardworking type of player.
Hey, Amy, Jimmy Watkins from the Omaha World Herald. Obviously, the NCAA tournament is the ultimate goal for every team in this league. Can you enjoy watching the tournament when you're not in it?
It's not quite as enjoyable. I can appreciate what's going on. I love good basketball. I think my entire life, March Madness has been just a kind of a special time of year that I get excited for, but it's so much more enjoyable to be a part of that and experiencing that firsthand, and so that's something that we're on a mission to make sure we're there.
Near the back.
Amy, you took over for Connie, who's done a great job in Nebraska, a great winning program. How long did it take you as a coach to get your feet settled and headed your program in the direction that you wanted it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a definite transition period, no doubt about it every time. I think the one thing we've just tried to embrace is the history and tradition and the things that Connie was able to do for our program, and find small ways to just see if we can't keep raising the bar for our program. And that's our goal every year, is to find ways to just raise the bar and build on what has been built before us.
Additional questions for Coach? One more in the front corner.
Amy, Kevin came out here and said at the beginning of all this that 52% of the Big Ten Network's live programming this year will be dedicated to promoting women's sports. What does that media attention mean for the growth of the game?
Well, it's really kind of hard to put into words just how important that is, and to have a leader that really understands that. And right now we're at a very pivotal time in women's basketball, and I think there are a lot of people that are paying attention to finding ways to grow our game, and I'm grateful that we have a leader in the Big Ten Conference that is that understands the importance of that and is willing to put his actions behind his words, and I think we're going to see a lot of good things come from his commitment there.
Final question from the front row.
Well, when you say it's a pivotal time, why is now so important?
I think because right now the nation's attention is on women's basketball. I think 1 year ago there was a lot of attention drawn and brought to women's basketball and some of the ways and areas that we were not kind of matching up or doing everything we could for our student athletes and for our sport. And so it's a great time when that attention is grabbed nationally across the country to make change.
Thank you so much for your time this morning, Coach. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
You're not identifying yourself or who you represent anymore. You haven't for the last three.
Our final coach is Coach Fred Hoiberg from the University of Nebraska, who had a storied college basketball playing career and had a major impact in a positive manner in the NBA, and we're so glad to have him back in the Big Ten. And Coach Hoiberg and I paths crossed many years ago when our sons were playing youth football in Minnesota. He was a great player, he's a great coach, and more importantly, is a great man and a great leader of young men. So welcome to the podium, Coach Fred Hoiberg.
Good morning. Kevin, your son was a hell of a player. I remember that. So great seeing you again. It's great to be back in front of people. And my daughter actually works for the Big Ten Network. And Kevin, I am thankful for your leadership and your commitment to excellence. She loves it. She loves the culture of the Big Ten Network, and certainly excited to be there. Just want to talk a little bit, first of all, about our team. I'm really excited about our group this year. For the first time since we've been at Nebraska, we've got continuity with our lineup, and we bring back players that played a key factor in our team and in our system, and are going to provide or are providing great leadership to our young, talented class that we brought in with our 8 newcomers, 4 freshmen, and 4 transfers that we've added to our lineup. To have continuity is very important. We basically started from the ground up with our first 2 seasons. We took over a big rebuilding project in a league where we're really the only team that was going through a rebuild, which has created some very difficult moments. But I'm proud, especially last year's group, of how we fought through adversity. We were hit by the pandemic and by COVID as much as any team in the country a year ago, where we were shut down for 21 days with 10 of our rotation players that came down with it, 4 of our coaches. And I was really proud after putting a schedule, just talking to Kerry Kenny about how we basically had to put together 14 games in 29 days, and with deconditioned bodies, with really having to stay out of the gym because of everything that was going on with our group. So a lot of those guys that went through that, found a way to fight through that adversity. They've been very important as we've been putting our system in the early stages of helping our young players along talking to them about the system when you do it right, when we share the ball, when we make simple plays, about how effective it can be. Our young class, top 15 class in the country, have been really impressed with the maturity of our group and excited about the uniqueness of the skill set of our roster. I think we're going to have a group that comes in and competes every year. It's been the thing that I've enjoyed most about our team, is walking into the gym every day knowing that it's going to be a team that competes and gives an effort every time they step on the floor. So with that, it's great to be back, and open it up to questions.
In the back.
Okay, Coach, apologize. I know you want to build a program, you're focused on that, but for those of us who are local, remember you from your plan days, any sentimental thoughts about being back in Indianapolis, and any thoughts about your Pacer days?
Yeah, I love coming back to Indianapolis. It's got my opportunity. You saw when I walked in, picture of Mel Daniels, who really was the guy that drafted me. See him up in the rafters here. Just such a great mentor to me when I came in here. Just don't shake his hand, or didn't want to shake his hand. I'll take you to your knees. But you know, Mel was one of the all-time great people, and just loved what he did for me as a young player. To see Reggie Miller name up there, you know, Roger Brown, Slick Leonard, to see his picture, who you know was such a great person and a guy that I had a lot of wonderful times with. But my first two kids were born in Indianapolis, and you know, we played at the old Market Square Arena, some of the best atmospheres. We were going through those great series with the Knicks, with the Bulls, and you know, had a chance to beat them in the last dance in that Game 7 where